Pisces, welcome back to the channel. Monica Louv here at the Love Messages. So today we are going to do your reading for the month of February. This is going to be a general reading, so it may resonate, it may not. If it resonates, great. If it doesn't, that's great too. In this reading, I'm going to be taking a look at past, present, and future for you. I'm going to clarify the cards and pull some advice. Okay, so your challenge, Pisces, is the Five of Wands. And what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, you have the Two of Cups upright. Okay, so your biggest challenge for you, Pisces, has a lot to do with the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands particularly is talking about a conflict. It's talking about a disagreement. It's talking about not seeing eye to eye with particular people in your life. Now, intuitively, I'm getting this as a group of people that you've been either working with, or maybe people that you've been dealing with. Could be a relationship, take it as it resonates, but you are in conflict with someone, or you are in a disagreement with someone at this time. We're going to find out more. We're going to get more information on that in a minute. Okay. Now, your challenge, the Five of Wands, has a lot to do with conflict. Okay. And we're going to clarify, like I said, I'm not intuitively picking up anything yet on it, but we'll see when we clarify. Okay. Now let's talk about the recent past. So in the recent past, you have the Seven of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. So in the recent past, very strong energy here of trust issues, liars for some of you, people taking advantage of you, narcissistic energy. This kind of stuff is what I'm seeing here in the past. You also have the Four of Swords as well. So the Four of Swords is very much, again, connected to healing, needing to heal, needing to rest, needing to recoup one's energy. I do feel that if you did go through a period in your life where you felt taken advantage of, Pisces, you may have decided to focus on your work here in the past. You may have said, you know what, I'm just going to focus on working. I'm going to focus on building what I need to build. I'm going to focus on my security in order to heal from this situation. So healing may have not been the traditional way of healing for you, where, you know, sitting down and, resting or just doing nothing may have not been the traditional healing that you did. I do see a lot of self-care here in the past, but this all happened after being taken advantage of. Okay, so maybe somebody stole from you, lied to you, took advantage of you. Something happened where your trust in people or in a situation was compromised. And to offset this feeling, a lot of your energy went into building something, working, getting your money, just really putting your head down to get to this place of feeling, like you could rebalance your energy again. This is what I'm seeing in the past. Now, in the present moment, you have the Three of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and you have the Knight of Cups. So in the present moment, it looks as if a cycle has closed out for you, of course, with Neptune finally leaving your sign after, I think, 12 or 14 years. Neptune has been in your sign. So a lot of this illusion and this fog and this really slow moving energy has left you at this time. In the present moment, I definitely see that there's a lot of potential here with a particular person that you're dealing with, maybe a group of people. You may be deciding, oh, I can work with these people, or I can collaborate in some way, shape, or form. So It's very similar to something that happened here in the past, but there was trust issues in the past, whereas in the present moment, something has happened where you're willing to start fresh. You're willing to take action on something here. You're open to it. That's what I'm getting here, which is nice. So we're going to get more information on this because, you know, the Ten of Swords, it's almost as if you're putting something really negative that happened to you behind you. You know, you're putting it behind you. You're saying, you know, bygones will be bygones. Is that the saying? Right? So, you know, you're willing to put something behind you after, you know, a very tumultuous period. And it has a lot to do with collaborating or working with other people. And we're going to find out more about that in a minute. Now, Pisces, for you in the near future, you have the Knight of Wands, you have the Star, and you have the World. So the World here in the near future is talking about, again, a cycle closing out. And I just mentioned that in the present moment. You know something in the present moment is done, but in the near future, it becomes very evident that it's done. It's like, oh, now I can put this behind me. I can finally, there's something that you've been dragging around with you internally for quite some time, and you've been dragging it, but you know, you're finally letting go of it in the near future. And I see a lot of this energy of freeness and reviving yourself. And it's almost like, ooh, I can breathe again. I can finally breathe again. That's the energy that I'm getting here in the near future, which is nice. And I also see there's action being taken here. I don't know if this is you or somebody that you're dealing with, but somebody here is taking action. It's like somebody's coming in with an opportunity or actions being taken. I'm also getting here that if you've been dealing with somebody who's been very inconsistent with you, a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, I see that coming to an end. Okay, the inconsistency, the uncertainty connected to particular people, particular situation, it looks like that is changing and transforming. And something here in the near future is healed, or it's going to be healed for you, which is great. Now, what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, you have the Two of Cups and you have the Eight of Wands. There's a lot of communication coming in when it comes to somebody that you're dating, maybe a partner that you're with, maybe somebody you're in a relationship with. There's a lot of clear, beautiful communication between you and this person. There's more understanding. Maybe you've been waiting for this person to reach out to you, and boom, they finally reach out to you in the month of February. So we're going to see, and I feel for some of you, this person could be at a distance from you. Okay. So maybe you haven't heard from somebody you've been at a distance from for quite some time, and they reach out. There's definitely some important communication coming in. That's what you don't see coming. So let's get into your reading and let's do some clarification. Okay, so your challenge, which is the Five of Wands, that is clarified by the Star. You have the Lovers and you have the Sun. Okay, so your biggest challenge here, Pisces, is connected to conflict. It is connected to disagreements. It's connected to, you know, you being at odds with people or not having a similar opinion to them. And I think the biggest challenge here is that when somebody disagrees with you, or they have a conflict with you, or there is a lack of understanding, it doesn't necessarily mean that this person doesn't love you. It just means that you and this person just don't see eye to eye. Okay, so there's something here that has been very challenging for you. But the challenge in general for you is recognizing that conflict is healthy. I don't think we talk enough about that in our society, where we say, you know, conflict is healthy. Having disagreements is healthy. How else are we supposed to improve things if we don't see the things that are wrong that need to be improved? And how do we see things that are wrong that need to be improved? Well, we see things that are wrong that need to be improved when, you know, maybe one person doesn't agree with something, and, you know, etc. Right? So it's almost as if this conflict needed to happen, even though you don't quite understand why it's happened. It's created a lot of havoc and issues in your life. But this is a good thing because it's shedding light on something that may need to be resolved, that maybe hasn't been resolved for quite some time. And it's definitely connected to your future. Okay. So I think the challenge here for you, Pisces, is instead of looking at this conflict as, you know, my life is over, my relationship isn't perfect anymore, or whatever you may be conceiving in your mind, look at it as this needed to happen. This conflict needed to happen. I need to shed light on this. I still love this person. They still love me. And maybe this needed to happen because there's something that I need to be aware of when it comes to my future. That's what I feel this challenge has a lot to do with, because when there's conflict, when there's resistance, when there are things that happen in our lives that are challenging, we're very quick to assume that it's done, it's over, I'm never going to get back up from this. And I don't think that's the case for you. I think this conflict actually is a blessing in disguise for you. And I think it's something that is going to shed light more on why you and this person should love each other more, and you should definitely focus on planning the future more together. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing for now. I know it sounds a little bit mumbo jumbo, but as we get into your reading, there could be other important insights that connect back to your challenge, and if that's the case, I will mention them to you. Okay, so let's talk about the recent past. Okay, so in the recent past, you have the Two of Cups, the Six of Swords, and you have the Queen of Swords. Okay, in the recent past, which is clarifying the Eight of Pentacles. So in the recent past, what I'm picking up here for you is there was definitely this energy of a relationship here. I do feel there was an ultimatum in a relationship that you were involved in. You know, if you don't do this, I'm going to leave. If this doesn't change, I'm going to leave. If we're not able to, get money or work, I'm going to leave. So there was something here about work, money, there was pressure here within a relationship to evolve, to change, to become better, to do better. Some of you may have decided to disconnect from a relationship here in the past. You may have decided to disconnect or, move away from a relationship for whatever reason. But I do feel there was some sort of expectation here in the past. I do also feel with the Four of Swords, there was an apology, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. Yeah, so you could have said to this person, I'm sorry that I put you through this. I didn't mean to put you through this. There was definitely understanding here, okay, in terms of a conflict, right? I'm sorry if I put you through this. I didn't mean to put you through this. So lots of ups and downs here in the past, but then there was also equally understanding here at the same time. Some of you went through a situation in the past where you felt taken advantage of. You may have felt that somebody here didn't have their best interest for you. And the beautiful thing that I see here in the past is that period in your life came to an end. The difficulties, the illusions, the lies, the dishonesty. Because what a lot of you decided to do here in the past, the Nine of Cups and the Three of Wands, you decided to move forward on your own. You decided to do things that would make you feel happy. And I think by you putting yourself first here, Pisces, in the past, especially after events where people were taking advantage of you, people were maybe doing things that they weren't supposed to do to you, that you said, you know what, I need to start putting myself first. Okay, that's what I'm getting here. I need to start putting myself first. So a lot of you started to put yourselves first, is what I'm getting. Okay. All right, now let's talk about the present moment. So let's clarify in the present moment. Okay, so in the present moment, you have the Three of Pentacles. This is definitely about a partnership, collaboration of sorts. You also have the King of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Eight of Swords. So in the present moment, even though there is a collaborative energy between you and this person, I am strongly getting in the present moment that there's this feeling, even though there's a partnership and you're coming together with this person, excuse me, there's still this feeling of being alone. And this is something I've noticed. The Eight of Swords, by the way, is popping out literally in everybody's reading. It's literally the card of the month. Okay, February, the card of the month is Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is talking about this feeling of feeling alone, not feeling supported by others, feeling that we have to take responsibility for ourselves. This is what is happening as Saturn leaves your sign, and it's leaving your sign in the next few days, depending on when you watch this, is going to move into Aries February 13th. When Saturn finally leaves Pisces, and it will, it's going to end a major cycle. It's literally a 26 to a 29-year cycle, which is the cycle it takes for Saturn to travel the whole entire zodiac. So when somebody talks about a Saturn return, we're talking about Saturn going back to the same position that it was in at your birth. Saturn returns typically happen between the ages of 28 to 30. Around that time, that's when Saturn returns. And when Saturn returns, it creates this need to elevate oneself to become more responsible. So what's happening here is there's a partnership that you're involved in. Either you're dating somebody. For some of you, this is dating. For others of you, this is somebody you work with, or it's a group project that you're doing. What a lot of people are going to notice in partnerships, especially with Saturn entering Aries, they're going to notice that in some partnerships, one person's doing way more work than the other person. Somebody's not picking up their slack. Somebody is very, they're doing things very basic. They're not really, doing the most is what I'm getting here. So I feel very strongly in the present moment, there's definitely an energy here of feeling alone in a partnership. And this could be the reason why somebody chooses to walk away in the present moment, or they choose to maybe reevaluate whether or not they should stay or go. So with the Ten of Swords in the present moment, I am getting with the Ten of Swords that something is coming to an end if it hasn't already in the present moment. And what's coming to an end is this energy of needing to keep up with something all the time, trying to make something work all the time. Eventually, if this hasn't happened already, somebody here is choosing to walk away because they feel alone already. They feel that they're doing everything alone. They are, really just doing the most here in the present moment. Now, the Knight of Cups is here as well with the Magician. So I feel this is you, Pisces. Okay, you're manifesting something great here now that, Neptune has left your sign, Saturn's leaving your sign. You feel more control maybe over your life. You also have the Page of Swords and you have the Six of Cups. Okay. So in the present moment, a lot of you, I feel you're looking back on something that happened in the past to you. And as you analyze the past and you look back at the past, you may be saying to yourself, you know what? I need to move on from this. I need to let go of the past. This is what a lot of you are doing in the present moment. You're learning how to accept something for what it is instead of forcing it. And this is what's going to help you make the move to walk away from something, okay? Because there's something that you're doing in the present moment. You know it's done. It's been done for quite some time. I would say last 10 days, last 10 weeks, last 10 months. It's been done, but perhaps maybe it's been hard for you to let go of it. So, you know, you are looking back at the past and you're trying to gather strength to be able to move on from it, is what I'm getting, okay? So that's what I'm seeing in the present moment. Let's talk about the near future. So in the near future, again, and I keep reiterating, this cycle is done. Something is over. How are you going to know something is done? You're going to know something is done by the time May rolls around, because we are changing Chinese zodiac. We're going from snake to horse, which is happening on the 19th of February. Then we have the change of Saturn moving from Pisces into Aries, which is happening on the 13th. Sometimes we need, you know, a few weeks, a few days to really adjust to the shift, right? Sometimes, you know, shift happens astrologically. We don't quite feel it until, you know, a while. But for you, you're going to start feeling this shift in May, right? You may even already feel it in January. You may have felt that the shift was happening, but the shift is going to be very strong. And I think a lot of you, as you go through this shift, I think as time goes on, you're going to accept it more. Whereas in the past, you may have said to yourself, like you knew you needed to move forward, but maybe you weren't quite ready to do that. Whereas in the present moment, you do want to move forward. I see you moving forward from this, but you're still looking back at it and saying, well, is there something I can salvage from this? So there's two groups of you, right? There's those of you who know you need to move forward and you've already done that and you're very happy with doing that. And then there's others of you that keep looking back at the past and saying, well, is there something I can salvage from this? Can I make it better? Is there something there? It's like you want to try to improve it, even though you know that it's time to move on from it. So some of you need more time to process something here. Okay. So let's clarify the near future and let's see what it is that you need to be aware of. Okay, so in the near future, you have the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands is a card of taking action. That's clarified by the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. So now let's talk a little bit about relationships, because this is definitely something that's popped up in your reading. Some of you may decide in the near future to let somebody go here, okay? It's not going to resonate with all of you, but some of you may decide to let go of a player, somebody that's been inconsistent with you, somebody here who, you know, you would like this person to bring value to you, but unfortunately they don't. And I do see that there is either a disagreement or you constantly have to defend yourself when it comes to this person. I see two people on two different levels. One of you is serious and you really know what you want, and the other one is kind of just playing, and they're in and out and they're inconsistent, okay? So the Five of Pentacles here is talking about whether this is a relationship or not. Doesn't matter, okay? If it is or isn't, just apply it to your situation. The Five of Pentacles is saying, okay? The Five of Pentacles is saying, what no longer brings me value? What no longer brings me this form of, you know, value in general? You know, the Five of Pentacles is an abandonment card. Some of you may decide to choose to abandon situations in the near future that don't bring value to you. Maybe certain friends, certain environments, certain people. I'm seeing somebody here who's very inconsistent with you, and a lot of you believe that you deserve consistency. So when something in your life creates conflict, it creates conflict because it's shedding light on something here that may not be a part of your future. It may not be something that is for you, and that's okay. Sometimes a conflict is good. And this could be a big part of the reason why your challenge is the Five of Wands. So in the near future, there's inconsistencies here, unfortunately. There is, you know, people or situations that may not see eye to eye with you. It's almost like you have to prove yourself to these people. And you may say to yourself, you know what, I don't really have to prove anything to anybody. The only thing I have to prove to anybody is myself. I have to make sure that I'm happy with the things that I'm doing in my life and the value that I'm bringing into my life. So, and this is a common theme for everyone, because with Saturn and Neptune, and by the way, Neptune is in Pisces, or excuse me, Neptune is in Aries. It's not in Pisces anymore, which means if you're a Pisces, you're ruled by Neptune. So whatever Neptune is doing, it is going to have an impact on you. So if you were the type of person as a Pisces, you are more community oriented, you are somebody who, you always want to be a part of the clan, the team. I see you taking more of this independent vibe in the future, and you're okay to say, I don't resonate with this person anymore. I don't resonate with these friends, or I don't resonate with these people, or I don't resonate with this person who's inconsistent with me, or this person doesn't bring value to me. I see you looking at your life and seeing the conflicts that you've been through, and you're like, okay, maybe we once loved each other, great, but now we don't love each other anymore. That's fine. So this is the shift that's happening for many of you. Is there a lot of stress, worry, and fear about this change? There is, but it's also a good thing that it's happening, because it's helping you to realize your options and your choices. You have tons of options and choices when you choose to completely shift your focus from the things that aren't bringing value to you, because there are things in your life in the future that you see that don't bring value to you. Again, friends, environment, work situation, there's things that just don't. It's like something was useful at one point and it's not useful anymore in the near future, right? So even though it causes stress, because there is change happening here, which is very much connected to your challenge, the conflict, the disagreements, the conflict, whatever here, it also shows you equally that you have choices, that you have options. Okay, so you're coming to a realization here that this change does bring some discomfort, but it's also helping you to see your choices and options. What is coming to an end for you in the near future is something that you have trusted in, that you believed in, that you felt comfort in. And the message here in the near future for you, Pisces, is to nurture yourself while you're going through this change. While you're going through this ending, while you're going through this transition, nurture yourself. Do not have stress. Do not have worry about this. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. That's the message here. Go with the flow, because what you're going to realize is that when one thing dissipates, there's something new that comes in. And this is what your challenge is about. Your challenge is, yes, there's going to be tension. Yes, there's going to be arguments. Yes, there's going to be conflict, but it doesn't mean that there isn't love, support, and possibilities for the future that are better. Okay. And this is what your whole reading is about. Your whole reading is, yes, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but you're going to be able to be comfortable with the new situation, the new cycle, the new way of doing things. And a lot of this new energy that's coming in has a lot to do with not forgetting your independence within a relationship. So whether you work for somebody, or you're in a team doing things together, or you're in a relationship, always remember that you also have to take responsibility for yourself as well too. And Saturn is following Neptune in Aries. So there's going to be a lot of lessons in, how to make your dreams a reality. Some of you have big dreams, and maybe you've been relying on certain people to deliver these dreams and these experiences to you. And now you have to take the responsibility to make them happen yourself. So there's a bit of discomfort here, but the discomfort is showing you what needs to change, especially in a relationship or in relationships. Okay. So this is what I see. Your reading was a bit complex. Hopefully you got something from it. Let's pull some advice for you. Ooh, okay. 4 cards came out here. I'll pull these 4 cards. Okay, you have the 10 of Cups, you have the Moon, you have the 3 of Pentacles, and you have the 6 of Pentacles. So for you, Pisces, your biggest piece of advice here is to create balance in your partnerships, in, the relationships, the people you work with. Remember, if you're giving way too much to a partnership, maybe it's time to pull back. If you're not giving too much to yourself or vice versa, you need to create some sort of balance within your relationships. How does happiness and fulfillment happen? It happens when there is equal give and take. This is another thing that you're learning, how to balance your emotions, how to balance your feelings. When you give too much to something, It's not a good thing. When you give too little to something, it's not a good thing. So if you're able to create a balance of how much you give and how much you take, this is also going to contribute to you being able to navigate this new cycle in a more secure way, okay? So Pisces, this is what I have for you. I hope this reading helped. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.